Good afternoon, Tony. This is Alexa Block with Gartner. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing really well. It's been a great week. And I've noticed that you're fairly new to Bluebell. How's the transition been for you?
I lost my family of 11 years, so it's not easy trying to figure out who the new players are, and so really trying to adjust to that.
Oh, I completely understand. Once a family, always a family. But I did see at Bluebell that you're celebrating 100 years in banking. Are you doing anything to celebrate?
But we're having a party.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
That's so exciting, especially to get to know people more. Is it actually going to be a party or will it be over Zoom?
No, it'll be a party, but it'll be outside, so we will follow the COVID, instructions and so forth. But it'll be in a really nice field outside in the outskirts of Atlanta, so it'll be really nice.
Oh, that'll be so nice. Well, I know it's always great to meet new people, especially since you actually get to see them and be outside. It's weird to say that that's new and exciting, but that is new and exciting. But I do want to be respectful of your time here today, and I noticed we have 20 minutes, so I'm just confirming that still works.
It does.
Okay, and will anyone else find value in today's meeting?
Not in today's meeting.
Okay, will we have to include potentially more people down the road, or?
Yes.
Okay.
My CFO.
Your CFO. Do you mind me asking what your CFO's name is?
John.
John. Okay, perfect. Well, based on today's meeting, I would love to just provide any extra resources and just serve myself as a resource as well for John later down the road as well. So, First off, are you familiar with Gartner?
I've heard of Gartner. I've seen the name. I know you guys do something with technology, but that's all I know.
Okay, well, I'm glad that I get to present on Gartner today. You're right on that we are working with technology. We're the leading research and advisory company. We help clients make the right technology decisions by really helping simplify the issues in front of them in order to help CIOs like yourself effectively and efficiently do your job to the best of your ability. So with that being said, I did go ahead and create a bit of an overview for today's meeting. So first, I would love to just learn more about you, your role, what your goals are for Bluebell, and especially within the IT department, and then show how Gartner can prove value to Bluebell specifically. And then, of course, we'll talk about price at the very end. Is there anything else you'd like to add to today's meeting?
No, it sounds like a lot.
It's a lot, but we'll get through it quickly within those 20 minutes. So, First off, I would love to just switch it over back to you and hear more about your role and goals within Bluebell.
Yeah, so I've been here for 3 months, and it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. Trying to learn exactly what is happening, what has been happening. There was a little bit of gap between the person that whose position I filled and when I came on board. So gaps aren't always helpful because things get lost in the meantime. And so for right now, really is creating an IT strategy and knowing when to execute. So what do we need to work on for the next year, what we're working towards, when are things due. So those are just a couple of things that I'm thinking about. The next one are really efficiencies. Am I spending my money the right way? If I'm benchmarking myself against my competitors, I would love to see what people in banking are spending in the Atlanta area. Because although I've been a CIO for a long time, I don't necessarily understand this vertical or banking in specific versus other competitors. So I just want to find out if I'm spending my money the right way. Another thing would be, just being able to sell my strategy to my peers, my executives. I can have a great idea, I can have something really in place, but if it's not selling to them and they don't see any value in it, I will not be able to move forward. So I want to make sure I'm able to sell it. And then, of course, we wouldn't be here without our customers. Our customers are a primary concern. We want to make sure that they're happy, so we have all jobs here. So a mobile app would be great. We're already doing, we have a mobile app, but we want to do like a different strategy
Absolutely. The customer's happy, everyone else is happy. Definitely the best motto to live by, in my opinion. But you're working with a lot. I know since you did mention you're fairly new to Bluebell, a lot of different responsibilities, whether that's the IT strategy, creating those efficiencies within that budget, making this mobile app really exciting, that you're working with a lot of different figures. So to just really hone in on a couple of things within that mobile app specifically, are you working with research, or how's that process look?
Yeah, because I was part of the accounting firm for so long, I was able to get an association access to research. So for super cheap, I get to access their documents and get my research that way. And I've done it for such a long time. Like this is just something that I kind of brought with me from my last company. And then obviously when things don't work out through that research, I always have Google. Now I know Google is biased, but I know exactly how to research it. So I can just look for what I'm looking for, and I know they're not trying to just sell me anything.
So do you still have access? I know you mentioned you used a previous service within Stormer Accounting. Do you still have access to that at Bluebell as well, or do you still?
Yeah, I pay for it.
You do pay for it. How much do you pay, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so it's $1,500 a year.
$1,500 a year. Okay, and can you trust the credibility and the variable resources within that research?
I know that they have filters as to the quality of the research. I don't know exactly how they show up there. And then, obviously I have to use like really specific words to find my research. It's not like they give me sort of like a data results that are sort of like attached to that. You have to really know exactly what you're researching. So then, I would say that sort of side of it is not as intuitive and user-friendly.
Okay, so definitely knowing exactly what you're looking for. So what are the implications of that with, really having to make sure you know exactly what you're looking for in order to find those results?
Obviously I need this information in order to work with what my strategies are going to be, and like really benchmarking myself versus my competitors. So that's important because I need to know if I'm spending my money the right way.
Exactly. And about how many hours, if you could estimate, per week are you spending on research?
Me, 25.
25 hours. Wow, so that's over half of a work week of just spending on research alone. That's quite a bit of time.
Well, I work a lot of hours though.
You do? Okay, well that makes sense. A lot of hours, but still, a big chunk of those hours on spending on research alone. If you were able to have those hours back, where would you allocate that time?
To really researching on the mobile app that we want to do next year. So just focusing more on those projects versus benchmarking ourselves right now.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. So far, we've talked about that mobile app, your research, spending about 25 hours per week on that research. And if you're not using that source, using Google, switching gears just a little bit over into the budget. I know you also mentioned that you're working with the IT strategies, and you mentioned comparing your data to your competitors. Do you have access to that right now?
Through the association research, yes.
Okay, so you do have that access. As well as that, do you work with contracts?
So we do, but the person that was here didn't keep everything very organized, and then there was a gap between, ourselves being in this position. So we don't know which contracts are actually active versus the ones that are inactive. So we're just sorting that out as we speak.
Okay, sorting through all of the data, all of that. That's always a bummer when it's not organized before coming into a new position. Also a lot of time that you're probably going to have to spend in that area as well. So with that being said, switching gears just a little bit more as well, do you have anybody else within the industry to bounce ideas off of, since you are fairly new to the organization?
I have my association, and then obviously I've been a CIO for 11 years. So I have friends that are CIOs, so I can always reach out to them.
Okay. And going back to that mobile app, have you ever created a mobile app in the past?
Yeah, I've been a CIO for so long. This is something I've always done.
Perfect. You have created that app. So that's nice to have that background, know a little bit more about the industry. Within that mobile app, have you run into any problems yet?
Well, we're not going to execute that quite yet until 2021, so I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect. So your main priority right now is just within that budget and sorting through everything, and then if everything goes well, be able to work on that mobile app, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. Well, I would love to just share my screen and show you first our research component tool, since that's what we've talked about for so long, and I can definitely see it showing value to you. So let me just share that real quick. All right, are you able to see my screen?
I am.
Perfect. So I first started off with our Google page. If you were to go into research, what would you typically type in?
App development.
App development, okay. All right. So I'm going to do that exact same thing. I'm going to go and say app development, and here you're going to find over 3 billion results. And I know you mentioned earlier, you said that you're able to find exactly what you're looking for. However, that is a lot of results to definitely sift through, and credibility is also a really big thing as well. And so I'm just going to pop on over to our Gartner website. And within our website, I'm going to type the exact same thing, app development. So right here within our app development, you'll be able to see 505 results found, which I know is a lot less than Google. However, within this research, what is nice is that it is credible, verifiable, based off of our 5-step process. So we ensure that credibility through that 5-step research process, and then we have over 2,000 analysts, experts that ensure its credibility, ensure that it's unbiased information, and you'll be able to go in and find that data a lot more quickly and potentially save those 25 hours to spend on that app development and with your team to get to know them a little bit better as well. So with that being said, do you have any concerns so far on our research that we can provide?
No, this looks really good.
Okay, well, great. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this and transition over to our another area, which is our IT budget right down here. So I also had in there our 5-step process that I told you a little bit earlier about within our executive or within our research. So I also did want to confirm as well, within our research, would you be able to find value in it?
I mean, it seems like it.
I sure hope so. So I just wanted to confirm that as well. You did mention that you have that comparison tool to see where your competitors stand in regard to budget. Is this what it would typically look like that you also have? Okay.
I mean, not what I see. Mine's a little different, but I can see where you're literally comparing, side by side, which is good.
Yes, so I did want to mention this because there are 3 parts within our CIO package for our executives. It's going to be that research component tool, and then it's going to be our cost optimization tool. So within our cost optimization tool, there are 2 big components. Those 2 big components are going to be our IT budget summary, that comparison summary. So you'll be able to see and compare where you stand and where you stand with your competitors, which, as you are already familiar with. And then our second part is going to be our contract renew service. And I'll stop sharing so I can see your face a little bit more. And within that contract review service, once you're able to really sift through those contracts, see how many you use, we actually have found within our previous partners, and on average, we're able to save you about 15 to 20% on 75% of contracts that you sign. So that is a big number. I know would you be able to find on average typical contracts that you'd be able to sign?
I mean, yeah, that would be really helpful
Mhm.
to be able to know, that I can sign for some.
Mhm.
Obviously, finding out how many
Mhm.
I actually have in the first
Mhm.
place would be great.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Okay, yes. So if you were able to use that service, would you also find value within that contract renew service?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I want to go ahead and screen share again one more time into the cost, because I know that's the most important part of anything that we talk about. And it's going to be right above here. And I'll also be sure to include all of this information in an email as well, so that you'll have full access to it. So within the Gartner for CIOs package, it is a 3-year contract, and it starts our first year off by $50,000. And then it gradually increases. And first, the reason it's a 3-year contract is that it's because it's a partnership within Gartner. And we like to work alongside with you with each project that you work with. Whether this is the app development to help provide those research tools, and we're continually evolving. We're always adding new information, and so that's the second reason to why it gradually increases, is because it's always evolving as well. So with that being said, do you have any questions about or concerns about the pricing?
Um, no. I mean, I don't know what my budget is going to be for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Because of COVID, we actually haven't had meetings yet. There's a meeting
Mm-hmm.
coming up, but we haven't even had a budget meeting yet.
Oh, really? Well, what I would love to do is, I know that you may not have your budget right now, and you may not be familiar with those numbers, but since you have seen the value in both the research component tool as well as our cost optimization tool, what I would love for us to do is set up a second meeting with your CFO, Marissa, since is she more involved with the financial industry of Gartner, or within Bluebell?
Um, yes, but I have another concern.
Okay, yes.
So I love that you guys offer this. This sounds amazing. It sounds like it's going to be really, really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that Bluebell has hired me is because I'm tenured CIO. I'm a seasoned CIO. I know everything that there is to know about the research and how to get it and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I feel like a little awkward and uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
asking a third party to jump in and do part of my job
Mm-hmm.
when they literally have hired me to do what I'm supposed to do.
I totally understand that concern, especially since you're new to this position, and that's what I'm here for. We want to help CIOs like yourself jumpstart into your projects and provide those resources to really effectively and efficiently do your job as a CIO. And that's why we're here. I totally understand why you wouldn't want to get a third party involved. But if you're able to find the value within our research component tools and within our budget, and once you find those contracts and see the savings that we could potentially save you, wouldn't you want to just reach out to someone else to ensure that this could potentially be great value within Bluebell?
It could, yeah.
It could.
Be helpful.
And if it's helpful, then that's why we're here. We want to definitely walk alongside that journey with you. And so why don't we set up a meeting with your CFO? I'll be here. I'll serve myself as a resource, provide this information, and talk in more details about what we could provide Bluebell. How does that sound?
Okay. Well, since we're not having a budget meeting until December, why don't we meet in December?
Completely understand that. What if we met next week and went more in detail within each of these parts of the CIO package, and so that your CFO could also see the value as well?
Okay, that's fine.
How does next Tuesday sound for you at 2 o'clock?
Sounds good.
Okay, next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we'll meet up. And would your CFO, Marissa, need any additional information before we go into this meeting?
No.
No? Okay, well, I'll be sure to provide this information, and I'll send a calendar invite out with a time set, and we can go into more details. But beforehand, do I have your support with what we've talked about so far?
Yes.